I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and we have Anthony Rankin here in the studio.
What's happening?
How are you, man?
Pretty good, and you?
Good. You're listening to Acoustic Songs Live on WNJR. We're broadcasting at 91.7 FM in Washington, the South Hills of Pittsburgh, and also streaming at WNJR.org. And Anthony, we tried to get you in here, and then I think the snowstorm.
Yeah.
We were snowed out. I couldn't get out of my driveway, and so luckily we got you back in. We were able to work it out. And I usually ask everybody to just dig in and play something off the top of the bat.
Cool.
What do you want to do for us?
It's a tune called Annie's Room.
Okay. It's Anthony Rankin on Acoustic Songs Live.
A girl who lived across town. For summer before she left for college at Brown. That's just the beginning. Pouring down rain the night we first met. At first glance I didn't notice anything special, but yeah, with a second look she sunk her hooks into me. Maybe those eyes are begging to set me free. I wish that I was sleeping. Distraction is that what I need. When the radio beauty is distracting me, and I've got no remedy. Can't get away from the voice in my head. I reach out and touch her, say words unsaid. I can't make sense of these feelings in me. There's no escaping her in my dreams. I wish that I was sleeping.
Nice, man.
Thank you.
And I'm picking up the. You go with the headphones?
Yeah, cool, man.
Okay. I mean, really some complex, chord changes. This isn't your
a little bit.
Chord song. I mean, there's that jazz influence.
Yeah, absolutely.
Sure,
Got a lot of that.
Yeah,
kind of
those
stuff,
nice,
right?
big, lush jazz chords. So I was looking over your bio, and you did play on, or you did go to Duquesne, right?
Yes, I did. Yep.
Yeah. So that was where you got that training?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. Did you major in composition?
I majored in sound recording, but the way the music school works is that you're basically a double major. So one major is kind of your focus, whether it's like technology, performance, something like that. And then your other one is your applied major, which is your instrument. So I had pretty intensive like jazz, guitar, theory training, all that kind of stuff.
And some of the professors there, is Ken Karsh?
Yep, yeah.
Is he your professor? Yeah.
He was one of them, yeah. And Mark Cook was my primary guitar instructor.
Yeah, I know Joe Negri.
Nice.
And, Tony Janflone Jr. I think taught there for some sessions. Like they had a guitar.
Yeah, the summer guitar camp. Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to go to that when I was a kid, and I actually go back now for the week. It's like the end of July every summer, and I'll do 3 days with the kids.
Awesome.
Just try and show them some of what I do.
So when you started, I'm looking here, it's like you started playing when you were like 4 years old.
Yeah, if we go all the way back, I took piano lessons I honestly don't know. My parents say it was like a couple of months or something when I was 4 years old, and it came time to do the recital, and I had like severe stage fright, and I was like, I can't do this.
Yeah.
So I stopped, and then a couple years went by. I played some sports, baseball, basketball, and then I picked up drums. My dad was a drummer, professional drummer for most of his life.
So was mine.
Oh yeah, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got drums in the blood. Yeah. I'm sort of a drummer too, but that's a whole other story.
Cool.
Then I got bored with that, and then finally, I think I would have been about 8 years old, and for Christmas I asked for a snowboard because I had envisioned myself going, professional X Games, I guess. I don't know what.
Oh yeah.
And I come downstairs at like 4 in the morning. And I see this box under the tree, and it's about the size of a snowboard. I'm like, yes, it's the snowboard. And I'm ripping the package open and everything, and it's a guitar. And I'm like, what am I going to do with this? But I don't know if, Santa knew what he was doing, I guess, right?
Yeah. Well, sometimes you have to, there's those times that your parents know best kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
I tried to explain that to my kids. Like they see something in you that maybe you don't see in yourself, and
absolutely,
they kind of have to lead you along.
I think it was always definitely in me. You know what I mean? It was like music was in my house 24/7 growing up. I was always listening to my dad's records, stuff like that. So it wasn't an out of the blue kind of occurrence that they would maybe kind of steer me in that direction,
Cool. Well, I've been listening to your stuff, online, and I really dug that video that you made.
Oh, thanks, man.
Where did you shoot that?
I was actually in this art space warehouse in McKees Rocks, and we got it for a weekend for a killer deal. The guy who did the video, his name's Tom Larkin. He runs his own company. He's actually younger than me. He does phenomenal work for a ton of local bands. And I had found him through a couple of friends. But he's like, I got this great place for you, And it's this old art space. It's got like 2 floors. All the props and everything in the video were actually just in the space, and we just kind of picked them up, moved them around, and put them in this corner for the video. But it was, it would have been last year. It was probably about a year ago exactly this weekend that video was shot, and there was no heating in the building.
Oh,
and
man.
We were there for like 2 days, 14 hours a day, like freezing to death. And plus they had fans blowing for the fog and the light, so it's freezing to begin with, and there's cold air blowing in your face, when we're filming all that stuff.
Well, and I think you did Annie's Room in that video, and also, or it could have been on DVE. The
DVD. We did the video was for a song called "Mean It."
Oh, okay, yeah. So if everybody wants to check out that video, they could go to anthonyrankin.com or
youtube.com/Anthony Rankin, or you can just Google Anthony Rankin, and 10 million search queries will come up.
How many websites do we need?
Oh, I know. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Just go to AnthonyRankin.com and that's kind of the hub of the wheel, so
Yeah.
you'll find everything you need
It's a
from there.
large point.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Anthony, I'd like you to ask you, now, you have a CD out. When was the last time you released something?
Last May was when the latest album came out. It's called
Okay.
Blow This House Down, and we're still kind of full tilt as far as promoting that, with new singles and things in the works of that nature.
And you have a show tomorrow night?
Yes, I do. At a place called Frankie and Georgie's in Squirrel Hill in Pittsburgh. It's actually right off the Parkway before the Squirrel Hill tunnels, right on Forward Avenue.
That's the old PD's pub.
Yep, the old
right?
PD's pub, yeah.
And shout out to Zeke.
Yeah.
Zeke, if you're listening. Yeah.
What's up, Zeke?
Yeah.
Thanks for booking me, Zeke.
All right, so you want to play a song off of your, play whatever you want.
Yeah. Actually, I'm going to do a tune off an older record. This is one called You Make Me, and it came out, I think, in '06, but on the original recording, it kind of had this almost like an Americana pop type feel, and the band and I have been kind of like reinventing things in rehearsals recently, and this is one of them that we kind of turned on its head. So I'm going to play the new Funk 2011 version.
I'm going to see if I can get the background noise to come down a little bit. Go right ahead and play.
All right, cool. We've come a long way down this road, yes we have. Now we got nothing left to hide. I told you the truth, baby. You know I just came out and said it straight. Well, I don't know if I was right or wrong, but it just couldn't wait. It just couldn't wait. Turn me upside down, you turn my world around. I owe you everything for all the joy you bring to my life. Took me for who I was and gave me all your love. Oh, you make me who I am. We all make mistakes sometimes. It's just a part of life. What you need is someone who's gonna stand by you, right? Help you break through to the other side. Yeah. Turn me upside down, you turn my world around. I owe you everything for all the joy you bring to my life. Took me for who I was and gave me all your love. You make me who I am, yeah. Who I am.
it's hard for me to like. I'm just back here. I could really hear like djembe conga type of.
Nice,
you know, it's like a upright bass and just nice little trio thing going on there.
For sure, man.
And I was trying to. I was looking over here, like to describe your music it's difficult. And I've listened to a few of the songs, and it's diverse. It's really not in one genre. I don't
double-edged sword.
I don't like. Yeah, I don't like comparing people to people, but you know, it's really soulful. So it kind of doesn't fit in the straight ahead rock. It has a lot of soulful, you know, funk jazz to it, and that reminded me like some Amos Lee type of feel to it. You know, like that real soulful stuff. So that's cool, man. And well, we were talking a little bit about you growing up and some of your influences, and I think Prince was in there.
Oh, absolutely.
So I could see that soulful stuff to it, but also a lot of the guitar slingers like John Mayer, maybe.
Yeah, definitely John Mayer. Now, when I was younger, Johnny Lang was a huge influence. I think a lot because of his age. When he kind of came to prominence, he was maybe 15 or 16, and I think about 12 or 13 at the time. Mm. And to see him doing, sounding like he's like 50 years old, singing, and playing like he is too, and being that young and playing clubs and doing, really hardcore blues music, which was, almost like probably incomprehensible to most 15 and 16-year-olds.
Yeah, when I remember hearing him, and he makes a very strong case for reincarnation.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, when I finally did see what he looked like, I was like, wait a minute.
I know, he's like this scrawny, blonde kid.
Yeah, I mean, he looked to me, I mean, he sounds like John Lee Hooker, but looks like, he should be playing, in a ska punk band or something.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, so all those guys like Johnny Lang and John Mayer, and they all, I mean, Stevie Ray Vaughan was such a big influence on those guys,
Yeah.
really. And, he went back to, who influenced him, Albert King. And you go back, and Lightning Hopkins actually was a really big influence on him. I didn't know that until I read an interview. He was talking about Lightning Hopkins was from Houston, so he was like that Texas blues man thing,
cool.
And I love Lightning Hopkins. He's just, I mean, every song sounds the same, but they all just sound exactly the same. Da 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 da. It still has the same, but it's like the lyrics and everything, and he's a personality, just. So other than that, like those guys. Did you grew up in a musical family? You were saying your dad was a drummer, so did he turn you on to a lot of stuff?
A lot of my dad's records that I, would take up to the bedroom and study for hours when I was, 4 and 5 and 6 years old. A lot of Springsteen, U2, Journey. Journey's Raised on Radio actually is one that I remember,
Wow.
holding the big blue cover and like, oh man, what is this? Aerosmith Rocks too, that was another one.
Wow.
So my roots are definitely in, like music that came a long time before I was born.
It's all classic rock stuff, I was saying before the show, I got a chance to see Journey when I was in high school, and I'd always try to dig up bands before they got, big, and then turn my friends on to them, and then go, and I think it was like REO Speedwagon, Journey, and who else did we? Larry Coryell and
cool.
Jean-Luc Ponty.
Yeah.
Larry Coryell and Jean-Luc Ponty showed us really amazing. Seeing them at the Stanley Theater. And, the venues back then were there were just so many places to see shows that were. The Caesar England was putting on a lot of really great shows. The Syria Mosque was still around, and you'd go to the Stanley Theater, but it just seems like live venues in Pittsburgh have just, the Decade was still around. Decade's gone. What's the place that was over?
Poor
in
Decade, man.
Yeah,
That was the place, man.
yeah, and Graffiti was like
Yeah,
another
absolutely.
really cool place to see.
That's actually, I saw Johnny Lang there when I was, I think, 12 or 13. I met him that night, and it was like, oh my God, dude. This guy's like 17. He's
Wow.
playing, and at that, I'm a small guy now. I'm a short person, and I was even shorter back then. So
Oh.
everything was so like, oh my God, this is huge. This is crazy.
Well, I saw Lionel Mace there
Oh, cool.
at Graffiti from Pat Metheny's band, and he was really amazing. That was an amazing show. But finding these bands and finding music and trying to reach out and find stuff. Nowadays with a lot of the radio stations, it's just this canned playlist, and it's really difficult to
Most of them.
yeah, most of them, to find new artists and stuff, and so you maybe turn on Pandora and they throw something at you that you haven't heard before. But
Pandora and stuff like that is pretty sweet because I've found so much new music that way. Just it's cool how they I don't know how they do it, but they have this huge analysis process that they go through when they add a new artist or they add a new CD, and they have something like 5 or 6 people break it down and listen to it, and 100 different categories and mood and sound and all kind of things like that.
yeah,
So it's like it was started out almost like as a science experiment, I think.
yeah, I think they called it the Music Genome.
Yeah, exactly,
Project.
yeah.
And I used to work in the computer industry, and I always wonder, like, how do they come up with this algorithm?
Right,
That goes
yeah.
through and finds stuff based on, like, well, you like this, so you obviously must like that. And
Right.
you get a lot of that stuff on Amazon and iTunes too. Where it's like, hey, you bought this book, so you might, you might like this, and you might like that. And, but I've been pretty lucky finding stuff on Sonic Bids, like people submit to the show, and I was amazed at like this whole, there's this underground music thing. There's just so many artists that are out there, and they're really good, and that people maybe necessarily don't hear about, and it's just coming at you from everywhere.
Right.
There's just so much music.
Well, with the internet and everything, it was insane maybe 10 years ago. Now it's reached a new level of, there's got to be like, tens, hundreds of millions of bands. Some astronomical number, I'm sure. MySpace pages, Facebook pages, and Twitter accounts. And
Yeah.
so it's pretty incredible.
Yeah, it is, and sifting through all that's really, really difficult sometimes. So I know what I like, and I like a lot of different stuff. So you sound like you like a lot of different stuff too, because I can listen to jazz, blues. I can listen to Appalachian music. I can listen to all kinds of different stuff and appreciate it. But there's like some stuff I just can't listen to, and
I try to have a healthy diet of like every different type of music. There's so many different eclectic types of music that we don't even know about. Like that we would have never even heard of the genre because of the way that the commercial music industry is run and presented to the public. But I'm a huge hip hop fan. I like a lot of metal music actually.
Really?
So all that kind of stuff maybe like seeps in small ways into the overall package that I'm creating. So a big part of it's pop, a big part of it's rock. A slightly smaller part is funk and jazz. But I dig a lot of country music.
Yeah.
It's kind of good. There's gems in every style, in every genre. I think.
True. Yeah, there is. Yeah, I would agree with that. Because every once in a while I'll throw something out at my kids or whatever, and my daughter's at the age where she's starting to like guys, and there's the one guy's a guitar player, and he listens to metal, and I just threw a thing out.
We're always a bad influence, right?
Yeah, he threw he's listening, and I threw like do you ever hear of Buckethead?
Oh yeah.
But he hadn't heard of Buckethead, so then they go like, oh, that I guess my cool points went up after I threw that out.
My guitar player, his stage name is Marcus J, but he's been a lifelong friend of mine since we were, I don't know, 4 or 5 years old. But he was Buckethead for a Halloween show we did.
Oh, really?
I think it was last year. And, I mean, he played for an hour in this full get-up. Like,
really?
Probably dying in his costume, you know, of heat exhaustion. He had this huge raincoat. He had the KFC bucket. It was amazing. It was one of the most amazing things I've ever seen.
Well, I didn't know that the guy Pepper Brown that taught him has a, you know, I'm giving Pepper some free, but I downloaded some free stuff from, you know, his site, and amazing the way he picks. His speed picking technique is based on, I think, I want to say some Middle Eastern oud, is it oud players?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Where they like use a feather as a pick.
Wow.
And he shows the technique that he uses, and he has this whole thing of, like, you know, scales and all that kind of stuff that you can go and like and spend all your time, you know, locked up woodshedding like Buckethead did. And but that guy's amazing. You know, like when I was coming through the whole music thing, and Yngwie and all those guys were playing, you know, really fast speed metal, like finger tapping and all that kind of stuff. I thought, wow, I'd try to do it, and I can't do it, man. I gave it up. I was like, I can't play like that.
It's athletic.
It is, and after a while, it just gets to be like a blur of notes coming at you that, you know, ear fatigue's real. I think, you know, you really have to be into it to listen to it all the time. And for me, I listen to the bluegrass guys if I want to hear some like fast, you know, picking. Those guys, I mean, just play just as fast as, you know, and it's all done like cleanly, you know, as opposed to like, you know, like all this electronic stuff, you know, that goes through. So I start getting into a lot of that kind of stuff. But hey, we could talk about music forever. So, but you're here to play some music on your own, so that will segue into that. And what are you going to do for us now?
I'm going to do another song from the Blow This House Down record, and this was the last single that we put out from it. And a little small plug here. If you go to my website right now, anthonyrankin.com, you can download the song for free right at the enter page. So if you type in that address, you go there's a link, click it, and it'll download automatically.
What's the name of it?
Tempting Reinvention.
Okay, this is Anthony Rankin on Acoustic Songs Live from WNJR Studios.
If all the money in the world turned to dust, all the pearl burned to rust, where on God's green earth would that leave us? It's all you want, you can kick and scream about people making bank on the movie screen. This is Economics 101, greed and lust. What happened to the days when we got along, when people got paid for playing a real song? You ain't kidding when you said those days are gone. What if my song is better than yours? How come you keep getting richer while I stay poor, and half my money is taken to wage this corporate war? We are tempting reinvention. Your antiquated rules just don't apply. Break down old laws of convention. If you wanna get up, you can't be shy. You gotta try to just open your mind. A half million people got no jobs. And Mr. CEO got a 100-car garage. Something looks a little off in this mirage. Stay in school, so you got a set of skills, but how can you if you can't afford to foot the bill? Higher education only means higher costs. We are tempting reinvention. Your antiquated rules just don't apply. Break down old laws of convention. If you wanna get up, you can't be shy. You gotta try, just open your mind. never known for needing a mask. I'll pick through the growing pains for the art of the craft, and I bleed on the heart of my path, the blood of my pen. So concentrate, and if you don't believe what we got right now, put your speakers up for the underestimated. And that's cool with me, but I'm a 24/7 freak that you can't beat. I teach your angels how to sing while you're home catching up on stage. And I'm laying down tracks that'll blow the skirt right off your girlfriend like a big fireworks display. Today is the day that I will create. We are attempting reinvention. Your antiquated rules just don't apply. Break down old laws of convention. If you wanna get up, you can't be shy. You gotta try to just open your mind. We are attempting reinvention. Your antiquated rules just don't apply. Break down old laws of convention. If you wanna get up, you can't be shy. You gotta try to hold your mind. You gotta try to open your mind. Yeah.
Nice.
Thanks.
Yeah. Nice changes there. Real,
That's outside for me.
That's what?
That's pretty outside. That's definitely the music school influence coming into play.
Oh yeah, and some hip hop kind of thing.
Yeah, actually, a story about how that song came about. I was working on it in the studio, and that whole the main riff, so on and so forth, like the whole intro thing. On the recording, like the full band recording, it's like this Stevie Wonder type synth clav type thing.
Oh, okay.
And I was messing around with it one day, and I just, I put it away, and I was like, I don't know if that sounds like me or not. It's kind of, it's like a little bit in the like the jazz fusion realm, but I wanted to keep it in, I wanted to keep the song pop, but it has this like hip hop, the groove is it kind of has that hip hop bounce, and there's that kind of false bravado, in the lyric, and just kind of the very what's the word I'm looking for?
Yeah.
That kind of like forward motion in the lyric, in the vocal.
Mm-hmm.
But I had this break in the song that, I had open, no lyrics or anything like that. I was gonna maybe put a solo there or something. And my friend Colby, who he's not really a musician, but he does freestyle kind of stuff all the time. He writes songs and just like sings them into a recorder. He was in the studio that day, and I was like, "Hey man, I want you to hear this song. I have this spot for a rap. I don't know if you want to try and like maybe we'll come up with something." And he's like, "Give me 10 minutes." And the studio is in the basement of this place, and he went upstairs at the kitchen table for 10 minutes and wrote this rap and came down, laid it down in one take, and that was what ended up on the record. So
Awesome. That's
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's nice. I was, you had just said something about like in hip hop, and then right in the middle there you put in your own little rap thing.
Yeah.
And I'm glad that heavy metal didn't take you. I think I think you got too much soul for it, man. It's like there's, but there are some bands out there that just they kind of throw that. I mean, when I was growing up, like Parliament Funkadelic stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Like these really, and the Isley Brothers. Like where a lot of people don't know that Jimi Hendrix played with the Isley Brothers.
That's right.
And,
there's that famous video from what is it? The Ed Sullivan Show or American Bandstand or something?
I don't know if I've seen it off the YouTube.
Yeah, I've seen it where and it's like they put a spotlight on him and he looks really young, but he's wearing like a matching suit. He's just playing rhythm guitar in the bandstand. It's pretty cool.
And if you listen to, I'm not sure which Isley brother plays the lead guitar for the Isley Brothers, but I mean that overdriven sound. I don't know who taught who. You know, I don't. You know, you have to wonder a little bit about that because it definitely has that same, I guess, phased or flanged, you know, stuff. And yeah, we used to cut when I was in high school. We had a cover. We had a cover band, and we covered a lot of that stuff. And I was going back in time and like listening to some of the stuff that we did. It was way ahead of, you know, like the Curve, you know, like top 40 Curve, because you know, if you ask somebody, you know, who Parliament Funkadelics in '77, you know, and Cameo and some of that kind of stuff, and Daz was one of the tunes we did by oh shoot, I can't remember it off the top of my head, but you know, the Chili Peppers, you know,
yeah, absolutely,
I mean, big.
Well,
big
George Clinton produced that one album. I can't think of what it is.
Oh, okay. Like one of the first ones.
Yeah, it was like maybe in like '86 or '87.
Oh, okay.
It might have been Mother's Milk. I can't remember, but I remember seeing videos of that too, like on VH1 and stuff. Clinton working in the studio with them, you know.
Yeah.
He's a wild dude.
Yeah, yeah, he is, and really created like their own genre, you know, like really a mix of things.
Yeah, it's like aggressive funk alternative.
Yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, and this, you know, heavy duty guitar stuff on it, you know, and Bootsy Collins was just like in a world. All his own. You go on YouTube and you look at some of those old videos where he comes out in the diaper. It's hilarious. he's playing his bass in a diaper with these big things on, and
Oh man,
what the heck? I mean, what were they on? But anyway, that was pretty entertaining. So in case you just joined us, you're listening to Acoustic Songs live from WNJR Studios at 91.7 FM in Washington, Pennsylvania, and we're streaming live at WNJR.org. And we have Anthony Rankin in the studio from Pittsburgh.
what's happening, everybody?
And really appreciate you coming in today. And
I appreciate you having me on.
It's been great. And you have a gig tomorrow night, right?
Yes, I do. Tomorrow night at Frankie and Georgie's in Squirrel Hill.
So everybody tune in and get there. Tune in. Make sure you go out and support local music here in Pittsburgh. And we also are on this next week. I'm trying to remember who is going to be on the show, but if you go to acousticSongs.com, you can find a listing of the calendar of artists that we have coming up. And also go to youtube.com/acousticsongs live, and you can actually see the video of the performance here in the studio. And also go to the WNJR.org site, and they have links to everything there too. You want to dig in and play another tune for us? Is that something?
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. What are you going to do for us?
I'm gonna do a ballad called Quicksand that actually isn't available on any CD, but you can get it on iTunes as a single.
Okay.
And
Recent, or is this?
It's a couple years old, but I was lucky enough to have this song place in a national contest a couple months ago on a site called ourstage.com.
Oh yeah.
Which is an MTV partner, so it's pretty cool. I won a new laptop, and
hey man, I gotta do that. I need a laptop.
yeah, really, right?
Is it a Mac?
No, but it was free, man.
Yeah. Can't be choosy, right?
Yeah, right.
All right, this is Anthony Rankin joining us here at WNJR Studios on Acoustic Songs Live.
Saw a girl on the train with a flower in her hair on my way to Center City. Bright-eyed angel, beautiful stranger, the way she laughing with her friends looked so pretty. I wonder if she has somebody. I wonder if she needs someone to talk to late at night. love, it's just so complicated, trying to drag this broken heart of stone back out into daylight. Guess I never really understand. Thought that I would always be your man, but we let the whole damn world slip through our hands. Gave me room to breathe, but never enough, and you pushed me to the edge just to make me give up. I didn't jump, but I've had enough for the damage done. Just running on quicksand. No surprise, the fine tree is down the line. Closed eyes never lie. Was it really so hard to be a little bit honest? Tricked yourself to think what you were doing was harmless, thinking I would never recognize the signs. Now you told me that you found somebody and you're out there somewhere pretending it's all alright, faking that smile. It wasn't that I couldn't really figure it out. I guess I always knew inside you'd never be the one to stick around. And now you're out of style. Guess I never really understand. Thought that I would always be your man, but we let the whole damn world slip through our hands. Gave me room to breathe, but never enough, and you pushed me to the edge just to make me give up. I didn't jump, but I've had enough for the damage done. Just running on quicksand. You don't know what you're looking for. You won't find love behind another door. It's never enough. This time it's you that's gotta settle the score. 'Cause I never really understand. Thought that I would always be your man, but we let the whole damn world slip through our hands. Gave you room to breathe, but never enough, and you pushed me to the edge just to make me give up. I didn't jump, but I've had enough. I've had enough, yeah. Baby, you would better understand. There ain't no chance I'll ever be your man again. Just rewind, you can try, I won't buy it. All the tricks and the lies are behind it. You can look, but you're not gonna find it. We're running on quicksand. We're running on quicksand.
Sweet, man.
Thanks.
That's a really great song.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Really, I'm like, I was really digging it. That's not on the CD?
It's not on a CD, no. You can download it basically wherever music is sold online.
Oh yeah?
And I've been considering putting it out with a couple other tunes that you can only get online, you know, on like maybe like an EP or something.
Okay, cool. I really dug that song. I can see why I want.
Thank you, man. Appreciate it.
Yeah, really. We were talking a little bit about your bio in here, and this is funny for me to read this one part of your bio. I didn't read this far down. You know what I'm talking about, right?
I honestly don't know.
Oh, okay. Okay. So it says, throughout my young life, many people told me I was destined for fame. And then it says this curiously precise facial hair.
Yes.
You have to tell me about this story. I'm like,
oh, it was in a review. I didn't take offense to it. I actually took it as a compliment because it was a review in the Pittsburgh City paper last year about my album Blow This House Down.
Okay.
And it was written by the chief music editor, Aaron Jensen.
Oh yeah.
And the article was really cool. Like I think the kind of stuff that they're writing is way more interesting, and just the style of writing is on par with like Rolling Stone and things like that.
Yeah.
But I don't know the exact quote. Those words were uttered in that sentence though. I think it it was comparing the album to some of the more prominent traits of Prince.
Okay. I get it now.
It was
All
like,
right. Yeah, he's got that thing.
funky bass lines,
Yeah.
spoken interludes, and curiously precise facial hair.
'Cause, I when I was doing my CD, I grew a big goatee to kind of like you put together a package of stuff, right?
Right.
And it's just there's the music, and then there's like the concept of the whole record. You
Right.
know, like when they would make albums rather than singles. You know, you put together an album, you try to make it concise in some way.
Absolutely.
You know. And my musical tastes run around all over the place, and I could see how maybe that might be difficult for you because your stuff kind of, is in a different genre, so to speak. But
Sure.
When you're playing with a full band, it might come across as a different way. But
Yeah, it's definitely, the first priority is groove.
Yeah.
In the, as far as the band goes in the live show. But at the end of the day, my goal is to write good songs, and that's, I don't know if I've achieved that yet. I've written some okay tunes, but the song is king. That was Mutt Lange, the famous producer, I think, said that.
Mm-hmm.
And everything should always serve the song. So this is actually a cool opportunity to sit in a room with you and just play, by myself, and play them as they are, because that's kind of I feel like that's always a true test of a song.
I couldn't agree with you more.
You can dress up anything, you know what I mean, and you can kind of put it into a lot of different boxes, but it's all, it's melody and lyric is the kind of constant through music.
And nowadays with auto-tune, they can dress up. A friend of mine works down in Nashville in the video industry, and one of his friends is a recording engineer. And I don't know if I could say this word on the air, but I'll say one of his favorite sayings is "Time for me to go polish a," and then
Right.
you insert what
Right.
the word there. That was his favorite saying. They could polish up anything. And
When Auto-Tune came out, which I don't even, maybe 20 years ago at this point, like the original kind of very,
like the
the primitive version of it, I think a lot of people called it the Nashville plugin.
Mm-hmm.
And from what I read and know, if you're in Nashville making records, when your record's done, your vocals are sent off to a guy to tune them, no matter how good of a singer you are.
Wow.
Or bad of a singer you are.
Wow. Well, I spent some time down there, and as far as songwriters go, it's like anything. There are good ones, and then there are okay ones, and the whole industry down there. The cool thing is, though, is the songwriters pretty much run the industry.
Yeah, it's a songwriter's town for sure.
Yeah, it's a great place to go and record, especially because everybody just gravitates there. The studio musicians, the quality of just
that's where the best in the world are there.
And the person that comes up and is waiting on you is also they can
They're
play.
a monster player too.
Yeah, that's my buddy that works down there. Gets a little. I guess if you work in the industry, after a while you get a little jaded, because yeah, right, I've heard it all, kind of thing, and been on tour with all these people and everything, and so yeah, it's like passing this test, like listen to this. Yeah, okay. I've heard all the. Yeah, everybody gives me demos. It's like it's interesting, but it's just a cool place. I like going there and just soaking up the whole vibe. The history. It's just so much going on. Any given night. New York too, man. New York is. Yeah. We're in a good place here.
Yeah, we're kind of in the middle of a bunch of awesome cities.
Yeah, and my hope would be that Pittsburgh would just try to be Pittsburgh, and come up and just have their own, there is like that Pittsburgh rock sound that the Clarks and Grashecki and the Silencers and Donnie Iris and I know I'm leaving somebody out that I don't want to. Rusted Root, I don't know if I would really put them in like the Pittsburgh sound, but there's so many good bands in Pittsburgh that that are waiting to be discovered. And you go like like a city like Seattle that basically started grunge. There this like Pittsburgh sound. We are like somewhere between the East Coast and the Midwest, and they're really, you can't put a real stamp on it. You know what I mean? There's so much good music here. I mean, you go like the Club Cafe, Mike Knight. There's so much good music, and that's my hope, is to help get some of that out. And have people
absolutely
listen to it. Like.
I mean, as far as quality and talent, I've been to some bigger cities, and I mean Pittsburgh has a ton of killer people.
The jazz scene
Oh
here.
yeah, it's out of control, right?
I mean, my dad would tell me, my dad was a jazz drummer, and he would tell me, he would go up to the Crawford Grill, back when George Benson was playing when he was like 14 or 15, and these guys that were coming through town, Stan Getz and all these like different jazz guys that would tour and come through the Crawford Grill. It was a place to go and see jazz music, and people don't really know like the whole history of like Pittsburgh in a jazz context. It's like they go to Kansas City, and they go to Pittsburgh, and then they go to New York. I mean, it was like there was a tour that they would come through here, and that's a big part of Pittsburgh. Trying to think of the jazz drummer that very famous from Pittsburgh. You probably know who I mean. Well, it's on the tip of my tongue, but he's a really famous jazz drummer that had his own project. I want to say, well, it'll come to me while you're playing your next song. We have like enough time for just one more tune, and we are on a special time this week because I had a scheduling conflict. Next week we'll be back at 2 p.m. and
I always make people wait.
Huh?
I always make people wait.
Yeah, and the 3 o'clock program that we have will be here next week. So thank you very much for letting me broadcast at the 3 p.m. slot. Anyway, Anthony, thank you very much for coming in and
thank
playing
you for having
for
me,
us.
seriously.
And have a great show tomorrow night at Frankie's.
Thank you.
Frankie and
Georgie's.
Okay. I always want to say PD's, but I know they probably don't like that.
Well, they just changed the name like a month ago, so.
Okay. And we are broadcasting here from WNJR Studios. This is Acoustic Songs Live. I'm your host, T. Mitchell Bell, and join us next week at 2 o'clock. Anthony's going to take us out with some music. What are you going to play for us?
I'm going to do the single with the video, Mean It. Talk about love like you know what it is, but baby, you don't have a clue. Act like a princess, blow them boys a kiss, but your foot don't fit that shoe. Say you will, but you won't, 'cause I know you don't. Say you will, but you won't, 'cause I know you don't. Say you will, but you won't, 'cause I know you don't mean it. No, you don't believe it. 'Cause if you did, you wouldn't see the thing you do. You made my heart blue. Can't even conceive it. The writing's on the wall, and it looks like it's a sharp. You think I'm gonna do? Check up on my heart. So baby, hit it, quit it, just leave it. I mean it. You hang out with your girlfriends like it's a living, talking dirty about me up and down. Spend money to dine like every day was Thanksgiving. My credit card's your little merry-go-round.